Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. In today's lesson, we're going to understand why entrepreneurship. The word why is very, very important. Before you do anything, the quality of your commitment, the quality of your involvement in what you're doing is very, very important. I'll give an example. Supposing you are asked to do pranayama every day. Every day your parent call you and ask you to sit in a place and do breathing exercise. Or in the school, your PT master or your yoga master is asking you to do it. You don't ask any question, you just do it. Over a period of time, you may not be that involved because it becomes a ritual. But supposing you are explained why pranayama is required, what is the lung function, and what does the lung function do in our biology, how the lung purifies the air that you take, and how holding the air for a long period of time and exhaling slowly will oxygenate your blood, and how the brain function will improve, and because of that how your immune function will improve. Supposing these things are explained, will you not be much more involved? Will you not participate much more sincerely? Same thing will happen when you understand what the benefit or why entrepreneurship. Before we understand the entrepreneurship, you should understand two important terms. One is called economy. Let me give an explanation of what economy is. Economy is the wealth and resources of a country or region, especially in terms of the production and consumption of goods and services. So in a region, goods and services are produced. Let's say that you go to a place like Tirupur near Coimbatore, where handloom goods are produced. Or you go to Bangalore, where software produced or software goods are produced, programs are produced and exported. The total amount of such production is the wealth of that locality. And another term also you should understand, which is called GDP. Gross domestic product is the total monetary or market value of all the finished goods and services produced within a country's borders in a specific time period. As a broad measure of overall domestic production, it functions as a comprehensive scorecard of a given country's economic health. In an area, in a particular period of time, what is the total money value of goods produced or services produced is the GDP. So once you understand, it's easy to follow that entrepreneurship helps in economic development in a country or in any society. There are two ways goods are produced. One, private enterprises produce. The other way is public enterprises, government enterprises. if it is a socialistic country, business is owned by the government. In a competitive economy like America or India these days, private companies produce goods. So it helps economic development. Supposing nothing is produced in society, nothing comes out of nothing. So whether you are in a private enterprise situation or a public enterprise situation, economy has to be developed. Once you understand, then you will understand that entrepreneurship is the agent of progress in a society. It's an agent of progress. So there is a need for entrepreneurship in a society. Whether the government is producing goods and services or a private person is producing goods and services, it doesn't matter. But you have to produce. Today, China is in the forefront of industrialization. After the COVID-19 situation, there's a lot of controversies going on, the role of China. And people say that we will not use Chinese products, or due to nationalistic spirit, you may say we will boycott Chinese products. But you see anything and everything that you use today made in China. There was a time in 1960s and 1970s, around that time, when Japan came back with full vigor. A country which was destroyed during the Second World War bounced back. And anything and everything you see made in Japan. The same thing is happening in China today. Whether it is a cell phone cover or whether it is a mobile phone, whether it is a laptop peripheral or it is a laptop, whether it is electronics or textile or toys or name it, made in China. So, first of all, you should understand, entrepreneurship is required to produce goods and services. Sometime back we saw 3 terms: entrepreneurship, entrepreneur, enterprise. So it is a lifeline of a nation. No country can progress without the development of entrepreneurship. Every country is trying to promote trade. That's what is happening today. The recent past, we started saying, make in India, make in India. Every country wants to promote goods and services produced in that country. They want to stop importing and go for exporting. So it is a lifeline of a nation. The second reason, compelling reason for entrepreneurship, that it provides innovation. Entrepreneurship provides new ideas, imagination, and vision to the enterprise. An entrepreneur is an innovator. He thinks 5 years from now what products are required. He takes a present product today. How can I redefine it? He innovates, comes up with a new idea. Take, for example, the innovation in the design of a mobile phone. The innovation in the design of washing machine, or a completely new product is evolved. I gave you examples in the previous classes about the facial masks due to COVID-19. An entrepreneur goes into a research mindset to find out how he can redesign the product. So it provides an opportunity to innovate. change of growth or inclusive growth. An enterprise operates in a changing environment. The entrepreneur molds the enterprise in such a changing environment. They later molds not only the enterprise but also alters the environment itself to ensure that the success of the enterprise. In order to meet the challenges of automation and the complexities of advanced technology, there is a need for development of an entrepreneurship. Inclusive growth, that is growth within a society, very, very important. It alters the environment by producing more goods and services, by developing the economy. The entrepreneurship puts money in the hands of people. Look at what happened 40 years ago, 50 years ago, the type of products we were using. You go and ask your grandmother how the kitchen was, and go and see the kitchen now. Where did the refrigerator come? Where did the food processing machineries come? There was a time when there is no power, people will have a hurricane light or a candle. How did the battery storage come into existence? We call it as uninterrupted power supplies. All these things are required. Increased profit is another example. Profits can be increased in any enterprise either by increasing the sales or revenue or reducing the cost of production. An entrepreneur thinks, how can I reduce the material content? How can I reduce the cost, manufacturing cost? How can I eliminate wastage? Let me go back to the same example of a restaurant. An entrepreneur goes into cost analysis. What is the input cost? How I can reduce the input cost? What is the wastage? Are people used properly? Can I automate some of them? Can I improve the productivity? And so by reducing the cost, he improves the profit. And once the profit is generated, either he can pass it on to the customers or he can retain it and invest it in new enterprises. That's very, very important. Employment opportunities. Take, for example, the companies. Let's say that all of you complete your education, go and get a graduation, you become an engineer, you become a doctor, you become a chartered accountant, or you do MBA and become an entrepreneurship expert. You need a job. So either you can go and work for somebody or you can create employment opportunities. That's very, very important. And then, of course, the social benefit. It's not only beneficial to the business enterprise, but also to the society at large. It raises the standard of living by providing good quality of products and services at the lowest possible cost. It also makes the optimum use of the scarce resource and promotes peace and prosperity in the society. Social benefits. Take a simple example. 50 years ago, 60 years ago, when you wanted to carry your luggage to the railway station, you had to carry it on your head, or you had to engage a porter. Somebody thought about a wheel attached to a suitcase. And see how things have improved now. You don't have to carry on your head. You can just roll it. Trolleys started coming. So the social benefits. You take a kitchen, for example. Today, the kitchen is automated. We talk about modular kitchen. Go and just inspect your kitchen in the house and go and ask your mother how much time she is spending in cooking and how much time she was spending 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Before the cutting instruments came, tools came, before the ovens came, before the pressure cooker came, what is the quality of life of a housewife? I'll give another example how the society is transformed. We were walking once, then the cycle came, bicycle came, then somebody thought about putting a motor in the cycle and produce a motorcycle. And a distance of 40 kilometers, if you have to go by cycle, it may take about, let's say, about 4 hours, 5 hours. But the same 40 kilometers is traveled, is completed in less than 1 hour. The 40 kilometers did not reduce in terms of distance, same 40 kilometers, but you are able to reach faster. How? Somebody invented a motorbike and somebody innovated and improved the motorbike, brought about changes in the engine and made it a bigger horsepower. The distance between Chennai to Delhi, even if you go by air, it used to be around 3 hours, 4 hours. But then the enterprises which make the aircrafts, they started innovating. Another example I can give you is the manual labor. When a road is being formed, they used to, even today you can see in some of the places, they will have a pickaxe in the hand and manually dig. But today, new earth-moving equipments have come. If you have to draw a telephone cable, there's a huge machine will come and do it in a short period of time. There was a time when there was hand rickshaws. Maybe you'll have to find out in the internet. When a human being will pull a hand rickshaw and 2 people will be sitting there. Slowly that was mechanized and that became a cycle rickshaw. At the time people said, oh, cycle rickshaw will throw out people of employment. But the same man who was pulling physically was able to understand how to ride a cycle rickshaw. Then the auto rickshaw came, automobile rickshaw came. Now, autos with the rear engine, somebody innovated. Why should I have so much of noise produced? And then somebody thought about a share auto. All these things are the result of an enterprise. So, the society is also benefited. Take, for example, the classroom. When I attended the school, it used to be a blackboard and a chalk piece. By the time the teacher completed a math problem, the hand will be full of chalk powder. Some teachers used to be allergic. What happened? The technology changed. Whiteboard came. Right? Then dust-free chalk pieces came. And today the electronic touchscreen board has come. You would have seen it in your own classes these days. Even what we are now doing, online lessons, how did it come? Because of COVID-19, we are not able to come to the school. So still the lessons are delivered. All these things are because of entrepreneurship. So very quickly, entrepreneurship is a lifeline of a nation. It develops the economy. It develops the GDP of a country, whether it is a private enterprise or a public enterprise. It provides innovation. When you go to a company, when a group of people come, they think, innovate new product and services. It changes the society. It helps growth of a nation. Profit is increased by reducing the cost of production and eliminating the wastage. It provides employment opportunities, and last but not the least, the quality of life itself improves. I want you to do a small little exercise. Look at your own life. I'm sure you'll be able to remember 5 years back what type of products you are using, the notebooks or pens or whatever, and what you are now using. Who is producing all these things? So in your own words, write about 100 words. What are the benefits of entrepreneurship? In the next class, we are going to discuss some of the myths of entrepreneurship. See you in the next class.